everyone, and welcome to Prompt 49. Let's just get into it. Today we have hot sauce and chain. Oh, okay. Well, let's see what I do with hot sauce and chain. Here we go. I feel like this might be the most random and challenging prompt combination so far in this series because hot sauce and chain, I didn't even know where to begin. They have nothing in common. They have nothing to do with each other. But thankfully, as I started to think, I started to get a couple of ideas. Nothing exciting. I think maybe most of my energy is going into the sketchbook challenge. But again, I don't want to give up on the prompts. I'll talk about my first sketch later on because it is the idea that I ended up going with, but I didn't want to stop there. So I did a quick little doodle of someone, I guess, posing all cool, and they have like a big chain around their neck and they are guzzling hot sauce and they're like, yo, what up? I'm drinking hot sauce. I'm cool, right? I don't know. So the second idea was supposed to be, I don't even know what. I think I started off with two people having like a rap battle. And one person was supposed to represent Tabasco and the other person was supposed to represent Sriracha, hence the chicken character, and the other person was a human, and I didn't know how to represent Tabasco because it doesn't really have a character or anything, so I'm telling you, I really struggled with this prompt, but even though I think the results are kind of boring, I am happy that I'm still creating something at all, to be honest, and I'm not that upset with this. I think it's okay image. I've had way worse prompts. But anyways, how about we talk about the idea that I ended up going with? But before I get into that, I just wanted to ask you guys how you felt about the way I edited the inking on this video. A couple of videos ago, someone asked me to put some, I guess, real speed sections into my art. And I don't know what you guys want to see, so I'll put a poll here and just let me know, do you like me to put some real speed stuff in here? Do you just want me to blow through it like a speed paint? I'm sure it is interesting to see, I guess, how slow I am. And I always think that the inking is one of the most boring parts of the video, so I thought I would experiment with that. And yeah, let me know how you feel. Vote in the poll, and I will see how I go from there. It might be fun to just mix up some videos here and there, and just kind of play around with how I edit and what you guys see. Keep you on your toes. You never know what you'll see. That's not true. I only do speed paints. So anyways, let's get into talking about this idea. So like I said, pretty boring idea, but you know, as usual, I have a little bit of a backstory to these characters, so how about we get into that? If you remember from the sketch, I originally had like an older man and lady who looked like they had just got off of work. They had their suits on, maybe they were just picking up some ingredients for dinner that night. Maybe they're hard workers and they never get time off, but as they were both picking up hot sauce at the store, they caught each other's eyes and they had love at first sight or something like that. For whatever reason, I wasn't really sold on just having two characters standing there, so I decided to go with a, I guess, stalking boy for the store and a lady, maybe she got off of work. And maybe it's unlikely for this woman who has her life together. She's working for a salary, she has a job, she knows what she's doing in life, and maybe it's unlikely that she falls in love with this young kid who didn't go to college, he doesn't know what he wants to do with his life, he's working at a grocery store, but they fall in love. Don't ask me why that's unlikely. I guess because that's not what you see in movies. I don't know. So this guy is stalking these hot sauces. He's on the ground, working out of this box. She grabs her hot sauce, happens to look in his direction, and when they make eye contact, except he's too shy, you can see he's looking straight. He probably looked at her, was so shy, his eyes are darting everywhere. A beautiful lady looked at him. What? He could never speak to her, but who knows what happens next, because I didn't illustrate that. All I illustrated was the moment that they met, and I guess you're just gonna have to see, did they get a divorce? Maybe they got married and they hate each other in the end, and they get divorced. Or maybe they have children and they have the happiest life ever. Does he work forever at the grocery store? Maybe she was able to get him a really good paying position where she works, and life just worked out so great for them. But what do I know? All I did was illustrate the prompts hot sauce and chain. Speaking of chain, if you're wondering where the chain is, I did something really cheap. It's another one of those cop-out prompts, but like I always say, These prompts are just a way to keep me drawing and get my creativity flowing, I suppose, so I'm not really that concerned when I do a cop-out thing. What I ended up doing for chain was I gave her some jewelry and I said that's the gold chain. Now what makes this very cop-outy is that I stylized it a lot by just making it lines and dots. So it's pretty cheap and it's really not detailed or anything. However, whatever. I created art and that's okay. Here's a poll. Did I cop out? I like how honest you guys get in the poll. I'll ask something and you're like, yeah, you suck, Kasey. I guess I'll talk about the background for a little bit because you might be wondering why it's just a blank piece of gray. Well, like I mentioned in the previous prompt, since I'm doing the sketchbook challenge, I don't have that much time to do full backgrounds for these illustrations. I'm a slow artist and I do want to push myself a little bit, but right now I'm playing around with these sort of shape backgrounds. So my original idea was to do a background that was, I guess, shelves from a grocery store, so you could actually tell that they are in an aisle of a grocery store with lots of products in the background. But then I got really discouraged with putting a bunch of things in the background because I just felt like I was either going to ruin it or I don't know. I got scared. Backgrounds are very scary. And I thought about keeping it as this just shape in the background, keeping it a very simple illustration. And when I finished coloring and shading everything, I couldn't leave it just a blank circle thing in the background. I couldn't do it. So I did end up going back and putting products on the shelf, though I did it very simple. I just did some simple silhouettes of the products and then put a darker color to represent, I guess, the shelves being a little further back against the wall than the products. And that was my very simple background. It definitely brings the setting together and you have more of an idea of where these characters are. But again, I do feel bad about, I guess, all of the cop-out stuff I do, but I really enjoy the backstory with these illustrations. It might not be the most beautiful illustration, it's not eye candy, but I guess I can be a bit of a storyteller at times, and I really do enjoy putting these backstories and really, I guess, telling the story of what these characters are doing and what's happening in these illustrations. So if you are just passing by and you see this illustration of a couple of people holding hot sauce in the store, you might think, okay, what? But once you know the backstory, you might look at this illustration a little different. Is that weird? I don't know. What is art? What is illustration? Either way, not my favorite illustration, but I think it's really cute and it's unexpected, and that's what I really enjoy about these prompts and this prompt series is that I don't even know what I'm going to create. Not even I know. Hot sauce and chain? What? That's crazy. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this prompt. Thank you so much for watching. Vote in those polls, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!